when this particular sensory diet came in front of me, then the first confusion which I had was, is it something to do just with food? Then Kurunju sir said, no. Anything which comes in is put under diet. And this coming in phenomenon happens through the senses. We all know there are 7 senses, 5 far senses and 2 near senses. So whatever comes in through these senses would be considered as the diet and the diet category. Now, based upon the sensory inputs which come in, we make a sense of what is in and around us and how we need to react out. For example, I sit down, I speak out in a particular way because I know that I am into a webinar, and I know that I am into a webinar by seeing it, by hearing it. So my auditory input and my visual inputs decide out how I should be responding, reacting, as well as how I should be using my cognitive resources to give a adequate joint attention, which is considered as socially normal. Now in children with or without autism, and I remember when I was in my school, then the first period, when I was in standard 2, the first period used to be the games period. Now the days when it used to rain, then the monitor by afternoon would keep screaming out that if it rains, then the entire class behaves like frogs, jumping from here and there, and croaks out like them as well. So that time it was a funny statement, but in our school group, when we were discussing, then the class monitor again reiterated this, and I could relate out the fact, because we do energy shedding activities as the first activity for children who come for speech language therapy, which means that they would be made to run, jump, cross through different types of hurdles, jump on the trampoline for a particular period of time, let's say half an hour, before I ask them to come, sit down, attend to me for any type of therapy. It may be language therapy, it may be articulation therapy, or it may be fluency therapy or voice therapy. Because I very well know, until and unless the energy which the child has within him, until and unless it is shredded out, the higher cognitive function like attending to communication will not happen. So it simply means that in terms of a occupational therapist, you have given enough of vestibular and proprioceptive input to the child that he can divert out. Those senses do not seek out more, and he can divert his entire energy to a higher cognitive function like speech, language and communication. So all these 7 senses would be requiring out some amount of sensory input, which is known as the sensory diet, depending upon the state of the child. States of the child: first, either a child may be hyposensitive or a child may be hypersensitive. Hyposensitive, then he will be exhibiting out some seeking behaviors, like he would like to mouth something, he would like to run around, he would like to jump, he would like to shake his body like this, proprioceptive seeking. He would like to hear auditory seeking. He would like to smell out things, gustatory seeking. He would like to touch and feel like this, tactile seeking, or he would like to take a corner vision like this, visual seeking. So the child may be either hyposensitive, so seeking behavior, or hypersensitive. And even children won't like to walk up the steps, enter into the lifts, or being carried up to the first floor of speech language therapy, because the entire vestibular system and the proprioceptive system is so sensitive that even a bit of position change makes them alert. So children would be either hypo or hyper. Now, based upon that, a set of activities are prescribed out by people with occupation therapy. I'll tell you an event. When I was in Bhopal, everything was fine. We used to team up with the OT and a special educator and work with a group of children, 15 children with autism in the primary school. Okay, it was a preschool program. One fine day, we found 3 kids to be, they were just moving around, they were just crying. We could not understand what is the problem. We kept them out. They were quiet. But that's not the behavior which they used to exhibit out in the last 6 months. So again, they started the next day. So for 3 consecutive days. So we, special educator, speech therapist and occupation therapist, we sat down and decided what is the change that has happened in the class. Teachers have not changed, furnitures have not changed, the activities have not changed, everything is perfect, but what has changed out in the class? Finally, by the end of the day, we understood that the phenyl which was used to mop out the room had changed. So this particular phenyl had a odor for which 3 children were hypersensitive and they used to run around. They got disturbed by it. That means the input which came in was not processed out properly. So this way, everybody needs to have a proper type of a sensory input to come to a particular state where he can attend to higher cognitive functions. So as a speech language pathologist, a sensory diet, hypersensitive, hyposensitive are very important. Lastly, we for ages in India have known that this particular body which we have gathered around is actually the food which we eat in. Right? This body is the food which we eat in. So we had categorically classified out food based upon their property. So we have some food which is sattva in nature, some food which is rajas in nature, and some food which is tamas in nature. For example, I'll give you, stuff yourself quite a bit of maida, or you eat out heavy in the night and you see how you become late in the morning, you have lethargy in the body. That means your food is also influencing you. Similarly, there are some children with autism, if they are given some wheat products, some milk products, because of the leaky gut which they have, they don't process out that particular food properly and exhibit out certain symptoms. So diet control, diet management, which has been there in our country for ages, now has also taken up a major role in managing children with autism, managing children in general. So colored material are not preferred out, etc., etc. So in this particular webinar, they will be talking up holistically how to manage out these 7 senses in terms of the inputs which are coming in, and they call all these inputs as sensory diet. Hope all of you enjoy this and make the best out of it. Thank you one and all. Thank you Santosh sir. Thank you Kurunji sir. Thank you.